There's all rivers around here, so it floods pretty bad, but first time we've seen something like that.
Yeah, first at 6 here on Connecticut's news station. Like you heard him say, this might be the first time any of us have seen flooding this damaging in some parts of the Naugatuck Valley.
Route 67, homes and the community are absolutely obliterated by the rain that happened last night. I'll have more on that coming up next.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
6 o'clock on this Monday. Thank you for waking up with us here on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. Now, it is a weather impact alert day. Severe flooding, as you can see behind us, causing quite a bit of damage across western Connecticut. Thank you for joining us. I'm Symphony Privet.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Yeah, a lot of communities have a lot of cleaning up to do this morning. This is what it looked like behind us. This is in the Southford, Oxford area, stretching over to Beacon Falls, Monroe, Route 34. A whole lot of water flooding homes, businesses, closing roads, washing them away. We have a report from the state police that came in about 20 minutes ago that 2 people have been swept away and are currently missing. We've got live team coverage of the cleanup from the storm.
Yeah, Angelo Bavaro and Brooke Griffin are posted in western Connecticut, standing by, giving us the latest on the impact of that storm, as we are beginning to see daylight now for the first time since a lot of that has come through. But right now, we're going to check in with meteorologist Matt Scott. Good morning.
Good morning. My goodness. I mean, watching the carnage unfold yesterday, I can't, in years living here, remember seeing anything like this. In the history books, many of you have not seen anything like this, and the cleanup is going to take quite some time, a lot more than just today, to get past what we've endured. Flooding woes continue. That is your weather impact. We've got some morning rain in primarily eastern Connecticut that is exiting. A few more showers and thunderstorms later on today. Let me make this clear right now. It will not, repeat, not be nearly as strong as what we saw yesterday with these training thunderstorms, but there is certainly additional flood potential. Flood warnings across much of eastern Connecticut, western Connecticut, excuse me, southern part of the Litchfield Hills, just about most, if not all, of New Haven and Fairfield County, and of course, it's the rivers that we're watching specifically, and we'll get you up to date live with Angelo and Brooke with that coming up. This is the last 24 hours, and my gosh, if you focus right on a line, right smack from the valley up through just west of 91, you're going to just see these showers just continue and dump and dump and dump some more. And that's why we've had historic rain totals across that part of the state. When you have these training thunderstorms, you just continue to just unleash without moving. And so that's why some of you have emailed and said, well, wait a second, we didn't get a lot of rain like in eastern Connecticut or even in just east of 91. But where there was rain, there was a lot of it. Right now, there's not a lot of it, just a little bit of light shower activity, primarily along 395. There is more to come, part of a frontal boundary that'll be swinging on through later on today, and that will help trigger a couple of more showers and thunderstorms. I'm not looking, again, for anything widespread like yesterday. However, the ground is obviously already saturated. The rain gauges are overflowing, and so any additional water will lead to potential additional problems. So temperatures in the upper 70s to 80 degrees later on with a couple of scattered thunderstorms on tap there. We're going to cover it all. Team coverage, what to expect, and how long to clean up. That's all coming up. Let's get a look at the roads and whatever roads are still there, because a couple of them have just been shut down for the time being. It's going to be a while before they open up again, Symphony.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. There are several road closures, a lot of those concentrated in the western part of the state this morning. So we're going to stick with this statewide map here so you can see how many incidents we're dealing with this morning. Several communities dealing with road closures along state routes this morning, so that seems to be the problem area. Now, Governor Lamont is asking folks in western Connecticut to just stay inside until the floodwaters have received. Again, crews have not had a chance to get out and begin the cleanup process. We are seeing some of the result of that storm this morning as the sun comes up. So your best bet would be to just stay at home if you are in that western part of the state this morning. If you do have to get out, be sure to be cautious, slow down. You won't have an opportunity to see what is out there until you come up on it. That could be other vehicles involved in crashes, down power lines, uprooted trees, just a lot going on out there. But we will keep an eye on the roads for you, and we'll have another update for you coming up at 6:30.
And speaking of those power outages, not widespread by any means, but there are some. 1,920 Eversource customers are without this morning. And the huge area that's being affected right now is, sure enough, Southbury at about 1,150 customers out. Oxford seeing some, Danbury seeing some as well. Not surprisingly, because this is what's taking down trees and power lines.
Yeah, now among the hardest hit areas because of this storm is Oxford and Monroe. Now we're going to check in with Fox 61's Brooke Griffin. She is in Southbury. And Brooke, you have been trying to get to the Oxford community this morning, but you just have had a lot of trouble getting there. What are you seeing in Southbury this morning?
Yeah, a lot of closures. So that's the big thing, is there's a lot of closures. There's a lot of just mud and dirt and trees and everything in the road. We're here in a yard off Route 67 right now. You can see that this is the way, I want to walk you through it. From left to right, this is how the water rushed in. So that little, it's really just a creek. It's not even a river. It's the smallest little creek that's behind this area. That is what ended up overflowing and came sweeping down here. So that gathered entire trees. It gathered limbs, rocks, all kinds of other just junk that was in it. So you can see here on the house on the right, this garage was completely busted through. That mud and that water is what opened these doors. Tons of mud and debris inside there. Now, one thing I do want to talk about is that this may just look like mud. You know, you could walk through this, these people get home, they can maybe take a look at this area. You can't. I maybe got 2 feet into that mud before I ended up being in about a foot of mud. I almost couldn't get my boots back out. So this is very thick, very swampy mud that these crews are having to deal with to even get off the roads, clear whatever it may be. The road is up above here. You can see all of the debris that washed out a lot of that area. Now I want to go back to the left now at this point to kind of show the barn and also look at what kind of damage is over here. So there is a shed that was completely moved. It looks like it was just washed over. This is more of that mud though, so you really can't even get to it because it's so thick and so swampy. So this is what's on the road here on Route 67. Crews are gonna have to take heavy machinery to this to be able to get it off. Not even going to mention the fact that there's entire trees blocking roads in some of these areas. I have been a reporter in South Carolina with hurricanes. I have done tornadoes in Oklahoma, and this is some of the worst damage that I have actually seen, especially from floodwater itself specifically. They have a long ways to go. That state of emergency is absolutely something that is needed in this area. We are going to head to Oxford here eventually. Now that the sun's up, we feel a little safer going through some of those areas that had those blockages. As soon as we make it over there, we'll get some more information out to you. But if you're in Southbury this morning, stay home. These roads are dangerous, and quite frankly, this mud is nothing to deal with at this point. I'm in Southbury. Brooke Griffin, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Yeah, it's an apt comparison, right? We've seen basically a hurricane's worth of rain falling in that area, maybe even more so, and that's why we're seeing a lot of that damage, hurricane level damage.
Yeah. Well, now let's check in, continuing our live team coverage this morning. We're checking back in with Angelo Bavaro. He's joining us in Southbury, not too far away from where Brooke was.
Right. What are you seeing, Angelo, now that the sun's starting to come up?
Symphony, good morning. Devastation around here and a mess in every direction. This is Main Street North, right by the Shell gas station, and also right here behind me. Active flow still going on as we speak. Just take a look at this intersection. You can see that water just covering this roadway. But have this mess of mud all over the place as well. So that's making driving even more difficult around here. I mean, we're talking about several inches of this stuff. Hard to walk in, hard to drive in, cars having trouble getting by this area. And then also in the water, making things more difficult is all the debris. We have logs, sticks, leaves, rocks, debris from cars, it looks like. And this area drying out compared to what we saw yesterday, but the aftermath is still on full display. If you take a look right here behind me, speaking with a public works employee, he said that this red vehicle right here was stuck. Yeah, tow truck came trying to get the car out, and that's when water just started rushing in this area so quickly, and now both of these vehicles stranded here as the water continues to recede little by little. But that brook is still very high this morning. Looks like that's where this flooding may be coming from, and still active, still rushing as we speak. Emergency crews all over the place here trying to get things cleaned up. If you take a look down the road, you can see those lights in the distance there, cleaning up the water and all this debris and mud. But this is going to be an hours-long effort, maybe effort, before we see things get back to normal. The Shell gas station right here, somebody's out here surveying the damage. We have trees down, a tree down in front of the pumps here, a mess there as well. Better compared to what we saw yesterday. We do have some video, take a look at this, of this area just submerged in water, vehicles also submerged in water as well. And in that, we saw this incredible rescue happen. This video showing a man and his dog stuck in a car, and that's when a Good Samaritan rushed into those waters to get those two out, get them to safety. We spoke with that Good Samaritan about what exactly happened here. Take a look.
The car seemed like it was kind of rapidly sinking, and ultimately he was able to shout at me that he had a prosthetic, and that's when I kind of realized that this needs to happen right now. Like, this cannot wait. We can't do this, you know, a structured way. And so I just threw the rope back, and I kind of had to wade/swim over to his car because the water was at my chest to almost shoulder's height.
An incredible rescue right there. So glad that everybody is okay in that situation. Limit your driving if you don't have to, because this is the reality people are encountering this morning as the cleanup continues. We're live in Southbury. I'm Angelo Bavaro, FOX61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, thank you, Angelo. Now, I hope people are heeding these warnings this morning. Folks will often go out there and feel like, you know, I can make it through. You just saw the tow truck get stuck.
Yes. If that doesn't encapsulate it, who tows the tow truck when something this bad happens this quickly? So stay with us for our continuing live team coverage. Of course, we're monitoring the situation there very closely, including those two people who are still missing right now. We'll have more throughout the morning.